Hi, I'm Megan. Welcome to today's live reading of The Reluctant Spy by Lois Wickstrom, presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Join me. Chapter 1, A Rat in the Bedroom. Scritch, scritch, skitter, scratch. There it was again. Something was digging under his bed. Timmy grabbed the cool metal flashlight from under his pillow, leaned over the edge of his bed, and clicked the switch with his thumb. Something moved against the wall. An indignant squeak. Timmy did his best to hold the flashlight still. Two small, beady black eyes shone back at him. A hairless tail twitched, and little pink paws pulled back against a furry white chest. It was a rat, a 7-inch long rat with a dark brown head and neck. It looked like a hooded little bandit. Timmy played his flashlight beam over it. The rat sat, unmoving, unafraid, in front of a freshly chewed hole in his pale green wall. Now he knew what caused the scritching sound, and he didn't like it. The rat's eyes sparkled. The haughty expression on his face seemed to say, "What are you doing under my bed?" The flashlight beam trap revealed translucent pink ears and long white whiskers. He could now see the rat's dark hood was its own natural fur. Grandma would be horrified if she knew a rat had invaded her meticulously clean house. There must be a trap in the garage. Timmy sat up and started to burrow his feet into his slippers. He thought with satisfaction, if he caught the rat, he could put its dead body in the outside trash before Grandma ever saw it. His flashlight illuminated the poster on the back of his door. There was his hero, Michael Johnson, world-famous sprinter, breaking through the victory ribbon. Seeing that picture reminded him he still hadn't decided if he wanted to try out for the track team tomorrow. Timmy was a thin boy with wiry muscles, olive skin, and jet black hair. Coach Sweet said he had the perfect build for a sprinter, just like Michael Johnson. Footsteps came padding down the hallway. Timmy felt his toes curl up as he listened. They always curled up when he was nervous or worried. This habit tended to wear holes into the tops of his shoes, even his slippers. The door creaked. The door to his room creaked open. Michael Johnson's picture swung away. He aimed his flashlight at the intruder. There stood Grandma wearing her orange and pink peony print nightdress. The rat squeaked again. There was no hiding it from her now. Grandma stared at Timmy and spoke gruffly. "You must be the fastest flashlight in the East. Please lower your beam." Timmy pointed his flashlight down at Grandma's furry pink slippers. They sparkled against his red linoleum floor. "Sorry, Grandma. I wasn't expecting you." "You've got good reflexes," Grandma praised him. "Startle the invader, I always say." "How did you get your flashlight on so quick?" "I didn't even hear it click." "I heard a noise under my bed." Timmy paused. "Grandma, we've got a rat." He braced himself for what she might say. Grandma smiled. "You found Hildegarde. I'm so relieved. I just bought her last week and I was worried she'd escaped." "You bought a rat?" Timmy couldn't believe it. "Then it's a good thing I didn't set a trap." "Yes, indeed it is," said Grandma. "I think it's time I formally introduced the two of you." Grandma paused. "Please give me the light." She held her hand out for his flashlight. "You're standing beside the wall switch." Timmy kept his flash beam aimed at his grandmother's feet. "Timmy," said Grandma in her "I'm trying to be patient" voice. Hildegarde is late for her training. She trains in the dark. I don't want her to get used to a room full of light until I'm sure of her skills in the dark. Now, please give me the flashlight." Up close, Timmy could smell that Grandma had taken a lavender bubble bath. He handed her the flashlight. "Why are you training a rat?" The flashlight bobbed as Grandma chuckled. "There's been a smell of mystery in the air. I want Hildegarde to investigate." "What does mystery smell like?" asked Timmy. "You'll learn." Grandma aimed the flashlight under the bed. "I'm going to introduce you to Hildegarde. Now, sit on the floor facing the bed." Timmy followed his grandmother's instructions. There was no point arguing or even asking questions when Grandma was intent on a project. Grandma shined the beam on his face. He squinted involuntarily. Timmy recalled that Grandma hadn't squinted when he shined the light in her eyes. Maybe his cousin Axel was right. Maybe she was a spy. Hildegarde, this is my grandson Timmy. Hildegarde twitched her whiskers. Timmy laughed. He'd been thinking about protecting Grandma from finding out she had a rat in her house, and now they were being introduced like two people who were expected to become friends. His cousins Axel and Joey had warned him that Grandma was odd, but he thought they were just trying to freak him out. Before his parents had disappeared last month, he only knew Grandma from his once-a-year visits to Pillow, Pennsylvania. Now, she was his family until his parents returned from their mysterious mission, if they ever returned. Grandma said the government, excuse me. Grandma said the government used to think children needed their parents. They only sent childless people on dangerous missions. But now the government thinks its projects are more important than children or anything else. She often called the government a big baby. Timmy was afraid to talk about his parents and their mission for fear he might jeopardize their project and he might never see them again. Chapter 2. She lives here now. Grandma shined the light beam under the bed. Timmy, this is Hildegarde. She is learning to be a spy. How can a rat be a spy? He asked. And how did you hide her in the house for a whole week without my seeing her? Grandma smiled and clicked off the flashlight. Hildegarde squeaked again. Grandma bragged. She's been all over exploring our house. It's her territory now. Grandma kneeled down on the floor and peered into the bed. Hildy's very quiet, except when she's hiding things. Is she hiding something in my room? Timmy didn't like the idea of a rat using his bedroom as a storage bin. If you heard her, you can be sure that she was gnawing a hole in your wall to hide something. Grandma's house was Spanish-style adobe with an open floor plan. The living room, dining room, and kitchen were one large open space divided by kitchen cabinets and several strategically placed stables. The only walls in the house created the 2 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms. Each bedroom had a laundry chute to the large open basement. Timmy and Grandma sometimes slid down the chutes for the fun of it. Grandma called it a drill in case they needed to hide. Hildy has hiding places in every room of the house, including the garage. Timmy could tell Grandma was proud of the sneaky rat. What does she hide? Timmy asked uneasily. He pictured the rat hiding dead bugs and other disgusting things under his bed. Same things as you, kebab, crackers, and some nutritious foods too. Timmy did not like being told that the rat was just like him. He was better than a rat. Doesn't she shed hair and track mud in the house? She's so little and sweet. I don't mind cleaning up a few hairs and tiny footprints. Grandma sat on the floor and patted the linoleum beside her. Come here, Hildy. Time for a snuggle. Hildegarde poked her nose from under the bed. Grandma patted the linoleum again. You've seen dogs sniffing luggage at the airport. They could replace all those big ugly dogs with sweet little rats like Hildy. She can sniff out anything better than a dog. Rats can pick up smells much better than you or I. Grandma was comparing him to a rat again, and he was coming up second best. Timmy didn't like that at all. You can help me train her, said Grandma. It can be our special project. Timmy didn't want a special project. He still hadn't decided if he was going to try out for the track team, but he didn't want to disappoint his grandmother either. Maybe this weekend. I'm awfully busy with school. Timmy paused. He didn't really want to train a rat. The cold of the floor had seeped through his thin cotton pajamas. He stood up, sat on the edge of his bed, and gave a fake yawn. I'm going to train her right now. Grandma put her hands beside the bed. Hildy climbed up into her cupped palms. Then Grandma lifted Hildy up to her face and kissed her on the forehead. Yuck, said Timmy. He lay down on his bed and pulled the warm covers up to his shoulders. It's time for her nightly lesson. I'm training her to push buttons and toggle switches. Grandma sounded like she expected him to be interested, like she was giving him a treat. Come on, I know a fake yawn when I see one. It'll be fun. Timmy grimaced. Where's her cage? I'll go get her cage. Hildy doesn't have a cage. Cages are for pet rats, or maybe lab rats, said Grandma. Hildy is going to be my assistant. She'll need to know every nook and cranny of this house better than we do. Why do you need help pushing buttons and toggling switches? Timmy asked. When they are in places I can't reach, Grandma had the ability to say the most unreasonable things in a calm voice. Get a ladder. I'm going to sleep. Timmy pulled the blankets over her head. A ladder won't help when the switches are in other people's houses. Grandma put Hildegarde on the bed beside Timmy. She snuggled her warm body up against him and tickled him with her whiskers. He tensed. Grandma, why do you want to press buttons and toggle switches in other people's houses? Timmy stretched the way he'd seen sleepy people do in movies. You never know. Grandma put her hand on his shoulder. You can pet her. She's soft and warm. She won't bite you. I don't want to touch a rat. Timmy pulled the soft, warm covers firmly over his head. She lives here now. She's family. Hildegarde snuggled her head up against his chest. Timmy tensed some more. If she's family, is she going to go off on a secret mission and disappear? Timmy almost said, like my parents. She's family, so you can love her. Grandma stroked Timmy's hair. I'm really sleepy. Timmy turned his face to the wall. Hildegarde snuggled her warm little body up against his back. Okay, said Grandma. Good night. I'm taking Hildy for her lesson now. She leaned over, kissed him on the forehead, threw the blanket, and picked up Hildegarde. As Grandma turned to leave the room, the drinking glass on his bedside table clinked and jiggled a little dance.